No, we're good.
No, that was just me moving around, I think.
You're at mic 4. I'll
Yep.
turn Skylar's mic down too. We don't need no interference. We don't need no bullshit. Pretty sure we're on, except for Spotify. Not Spotify, Audacity, right there. All right. Let's get this shit going, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're listening to Long Shot Sportscast, Longview, Washington's #1 sports-related podcast. I believe this is now 31 weeks running. Episode 32, ladies and gentlemen. I don't like the look of that.
Oh, how it's
Hold on.
it's supposed to be bigger waves?
Well, no. I don't like the jagged BS I'm seeing. Hold on. We're live technical difficulties straight from there. All right. Well, let's get this shit going, huh?
It sounds clean.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're listening to Long Shot Sportscast, Longview, Washington's #1 sports-related podcast. I believe this is
no problems
now
there,
31
dude.
weeks
Son
running.
of a gun. I'll
We get surprised every week
so-
with this.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been diligent about the process the last 3 weeks.
Yep.
We don't have any fucking
Hold your breath there, buddy.
Hold on a minute, no. Hey, listen,
Walk that back.
anything can happen. I'll walk it back. No, we're okay.
All right.
Okay. Now I just got to figure out what it sounds like at the end, so I can jump right back in, like nothing happened. The magic of not watching the live stream. Yeah, hold on. Okay, so then maybe look at that.
Oh, how it's
Yeah, hold on. Okay, so I said, yeah, hold on. Okay, no, watch this. To your hats to this amazing episode of Long Shot Sportscast. What a great podcast. Seamless week to week as we move on. We are in week 6 of the NFL. So we're going to be doing our usual breakers, bums, upsets, all that good jazz. No Skylar here. Because I don't even think I even got to our introductions because I'm so bush league at this. So Mike Holm right here, and you got a good old Brady Rucola right there.
Happy Friday.
And Tom Cruise Jr. is at home. Skylar got a bellyache from eating too many Krabby Patties.
got a little tickle in his throat there.
Skylar got a bellyache from eating too many Krabby Patties, so I made him a bicarbonated soda.
Some club soda, some crackers, some saltines. I'll get him up.
So we're rocking and rolling. We're also going to talk about the NBA finals. First of all, congratulations, LeBron, on ring number 4.
Hey, you know what's good about this show today is there's nobody here to rip on LeBron in this title that
we
he won.
can praise LeBron,
Like he deserves.
rightfully so, like he deserves.
4-time NBA champ now.
And there's nobody here to shit on him.
3 different teams. I mean, what can you say about the guy? Congratulations, LeBron. And yes, you do deserve your damn respect.
All of you fucking people said Kawhi was going to do it. So,
Nah. Speaking of Kawhi, I guess he's getting a little heat from some of the players on the team because he's like a kind of little diva.
oh, no way.
Missing games and showing up to practices late or not at all.
Shit, no way, dude. No way.
Anyway, this ain't about Kawhi. It's about LeBron and the Lakers and how they ultimately won the weirdest basketball season you will probably ever see in the bubble. And
I don't know why. I keep getting like message requests on Reddit for dumb shit.
okay, spam or something or what?
I don't know what it was, but the problem is with Reddit chat, it won't even let you see what
Like-
they're talking about. You know, like something. Okay, cool. Not interested. Thank you. Bye. Yeah. So let's get into this real quick. We don't have a ton of basketball stuff to talk about because we're waiting for the off season.
I mean, like there's a little bit of whispers here and there that I've been hearing, you've been hearing, as far as free agency goes, people's plans.
Yeah.
Obviously, Giannis, right? That's the big one.
Giannis is the big one that we're waiting on.
You know, you've joked around with me if you're joking on the Warriors, which I've heard
It's
things.
not a joke.
I've heard things. I'm hearing Mavericks are like wanting to be the first ones there, in talks with him.
I bet they do. And Mark Cuban's a fun billionaire, but it's not happening.
And I guess Miami Heat is all in on Giannis 2021. That's what I'm hearing. So I don't know, man. I personally, what I was thinking, I think he stays in Milwaukee, but maybe not.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. They have said, Milwaukee has said they do want to add a piece to build onto LeBron. Wow, Giannis and Middleton. They've talked about adding Bogdanovich from Sacramento. So it maybe, and this is the thing. This is why maybe Milwaukee can nip this in the bud. A lot of these small market teams, they lose these players because they don't build around them soon enough.
No,
it's like New Orleans losing Anthony Davis. Because what? Because the last ditch move that they had was trying to put Boogie Cousins in there, and
then you know how that worked out.
Exactly. So if they can nip this in the bud with Giannis, you've already got a great number 2 guy for him in Middleton. They need like one more piece to really set them over.
I totally wholeheartedly agree with that. I think if they had one more guy, like maybe like a shooter, just one more doesn't even have to be a superstar, right?
Right.
Maybe like a B plus A minus guy. You get one more in there, and I think they got a team on their hand. They definitely got a team that can go to the conference finals, if not the finals, in my opinion.
I agree with you there, man. I mean, obviously, we know that this is a team that dominates the regular season.
Yeah.
They're so close to leaving a mark in the East, and at the end of the day, they can't get to that last step.
And Giannis has got to think, too. Does he want the big contract? Does he want the money? Does he want the championship, or does he want a little bit of both, championship and get paid?
I mean, it's the, because
you got to remember Brooklyn. That team's gonna be hard in the East next year.
It's gonna be a dilemma.
It's gonna be a scary team. So Giannis is probably already thinking this in the back of his head. Listen, if you guys don't give me one more piece here to even be able to get to the finals, because that's pretty much what he's thinking, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Why are we not getting there? Why are we getting this far every year?
Well, and you got to think also, there hasn't been a homegrown superstar to stick around and get a ring since Curry. Curry got a ring on his original team, but then you really think about
I guess you could say LeBron, but he left, got some, came back.
LeBron had to leave,
but if we're talking about just the homegrown team, like you're talking about,
stick with your original team. Yeah. And wait it out and get, wait for the help and get the ring.
Yeah.
On your, from start to finish.
Yep.
Curry did it, and it was but that's in 6 years.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at LeBron got his with the Heat, and he came back and got it for Cleveland, but he didn't get that championship monkey off his back until he had the big 3. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, he had to get that off his back, and then he went home, which is fine, totally fine.
KD didn't get that monkey off his back until he joined the Warriors dynamic and got those rings.
I'm with Stephen A. Smith on this one. He either riding the bus or the bus driver.
Right.
KD was riding the bus.
Oh, yeah, he was. No, and I'm not denying that.
But yeah, now he's going back to Brooklyn.
And then this Lakers team is, that Toronto team was interesting because that's a free agent in Kawhi kind of joining a homegrown chemistry and just kind of pushing them over.
Yeah.
Because we saw that team without Kawhi is still a playoff team no matter what.
It's going to be a decent team.
So,
for sure.
And then they're definitely a defensive presence, although I think Siakam's playoff presence certainly took a dive.
Well, and this is what the big talk has been with Siakam is that Kawhi can make anybody look pretty good, except for Paul George, unfortunately.
Yeah, no.
But no, for real, that's what people were saying this year is, okay, well, now pretty much it's all the spotlights on Siakam, and he just kind of seemed to just not play like everybody else was seeing because Kawhi wasn't there. But
we were seeing a lot more heroics out of guys like Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, Norman Powell.
But Siakam, no.
And Siakam was definitely
but that's what happens,
quiet.
Because when you got Kawhi and Siakam and these other guys like we just stated out there, yeah, Siakam is able probably to make these big plays, these make these shots, open shots, because everybody's more focused on Kawhi,
right?
who's this kid over here. So Siakam's really got to step it up and show, because I didn't see a whole lot, like you said, this year without Kawhi.
Well,
especially playoff time.
That also adds to the criticism for Paul George.
Yep, exactly that.
Come on, that's why you're there, because you know Kawhi is the better ball player.
Right, you're the number 2.
But the slope is supposedly less steep between you and Kawhi than it is with Siakam and Kawhi, and yet
I don't see it.
It's not there.
Nope.
So the thing is, we saw that with the Raptors. The last couple champions now, the Raptors and Lakers, it's not been necessarily a homegrown team and chemistry and all that other stuff. I mean, the Raptors was kind of a mix, but this Lakers team was literally Bron, AD,
a bunch of vets,
and you had Kuzma, who'd been there for a while, and then you get a whole bunch of guys that you've wheeled and dealed for and picked up as role players. It's going to be interesting. Can Giannis break the chain now?
Yeah.
And get a team up there? Can Jimmy Butler didn't start out with the Heat, obviously, but can Jason Tatum break the chain and become the next superstar to get one on his own?
Yeah, that Boston team, man, I still believe in them. I think they're a really good
squad.
Can
they get Dame enough help? Can Dame do it?
I mean,
can the Suns eventually kind of rebound? Can Devin Booker get the help? Can Minnesota put the guys around Karl Anthony Towns?
I'm really, and this is why I'm really, really excited for free agency basketball, because I am really wondering what the Blazers are thinking. What are they going to do? So like we made it into the playoffs, unthinkable.
Yeah,
that was even going to happen, right? And obviously, you had to face the Lakers. That was that. Injuries, whatever. What are we going to do to, like, not necessarily rebuild the team, but kind of refocus it onto something? Because we have so many guys now that it's like, I don't know, who are we going to keep?
Yeah.
Who are we going to trade?
Yeah.
What are we going to trade them for? Who is there to trade for? Who wants to come to Portland?
I mean, we've definitely seen a lot of hypothetical scenarios, and unfortunately, a lot of them revolve around moving CJ.
Yeah. Melo, too. Melo's one.
Yeah.
But, Melo's came out and said, like, I found a home in Portland. Okay, that's fine. We talked about this a little bit, too, on previous shows. But, is he going to be wanting more money? Probably. At his stage in his career, I would think.
I think at this point he's made money. I think at this point he wants to have a sizable role. It's not. I don't think money's a factor for Melo. I think
probably not, because he's got businesses. He
wants a chance for a ring, but it's not just that. He's not gonna like Dwight Howard this thing. He wants a role.
And also, I think it'd be more special. It'd be more special for him to be a part of that team, this Portland team, which everybody dogs every year. And somehow, if they could come out and get a ring, that would be worth more than 6 rings with the Lakers right now.
I mean, if he could be the old guard, just with a decent enough role. I mean, how old is he? 35, 36?
He's mid-30s,
he's
late
getting
30s.
Up there.
He's about LeBron. He's LeBron's age. They literally they're played against each other in high school.
Yeah, they're like 35, 36.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. If he, as part of this old guard now, can still carve out a sizable enough role for himself in 2020, 2021, and organically, have a shot at a championship, I think that's more important to Carmelo than money at this point. I mean, trust me, you want to talk about a money-making move, sticking around in New York for as long as he did. You wanted to. I mean, outside of that initial,
that was a disaster too.
Those first couple years in the playoffs with guys like Amari and then the Linsanity and shit. Outside of that, that was a disaster and a half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I and that's kind of where my stance was leading on with him. I think we talked about it too on previous shows, and that's where I was at with it. I think Skylar's like convinced that money, which I could see it both ways, but like you said, I think he's made his money. I think he's not really worried about that as much as
he went a year without a job.
Right, and the Blazers were the only one betting on him, and look what he did so good for us. He's a key role player. I mean, he's came out and said, like, Dame is like the biggest leader he's ever seen on any team that he's played.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I feel like we're gonna have to move some guys around for sure. Hazonia, he needs to go. I mean,
Yeah.
he needs to go. First
I
of all,
forgot the Thunder happened.
yeah.
He was on the Thunder, and then I don't recall him being on the Rockets.
I do
very
remember
long.
that.
I know he was there, but I don't.
It was a quick stint.
I thought they released him like a few games into the season or something.
It was a very
right?
quick stint. I don't like. Could have been longer than that, but I don't know.
He signed a 1 year, $2.4 million. That was the vet minimum in 2018. They announced that they were parting ways. That was in August, and by November they said that they were parting ways. Much of his playing time went to rookie Gary Clark. Rockets
It's because
traded,
nobody knew how to utilize him.
Yeah, they traded him to the Bulls. Oh, and to John Diebler and undisclosed cash considerations, Chicago Bulls in exchange for the draft rights to Tadeusz Jajikovic. That was in 2019. So he barely makes it into 2019, but he had hardly even been played.
No,
and
nobody was.
And then he got waived by the Bulls.
It was a number. It was a
immediately.
name thing. And
So he got waived by the Bulls immediately after that, too.
yeah. So it's nobody knew how to use him. They didn't know how to use him. They didn't know.
He's only had a job with Portland since last November,
Yep.
and
look at him.
But
He's all over.
He's still got it. I mean, for
For
sure.
sure.
Yeah.
The way our offense works is perfect for him. Zach Collins, I don't know what we're doing with him. I like Zach Collins when he's healthy. I think
When he's healthy.
I think he's still a young player.
He has a few more steps to take before he's
Anywhere close to like a
yeah.
Nurk or something. Like, I mean, I'm not saying he's ever going to be like Nurk.
No,
but
but
like
Nurk's definitely the better player, and because
first Nurk's probably my third favorite player on that
Nurk's
team.
Collins has the potential to be better,
Yeah.
but he's not there yet. He's very young though. He's like what, 22?
Oh, he's very young. Yeah.
But and this is what we were talking about a few weeks ago. We talked about development, and I think Skylar got a little offended when I mentioned that, because I talked all day about the Heat being great at developing players, and
Yep.
Boston, of course, and even you want to go back further, like when they were on their championship run, Golden State.
Yes.
And I think Skylar got a little offended when I said that Portland doesn't do it as good. And one of the names that I brought up was Simons.
Simons. Yeah.
Is it Simons or Simons?
It's Simons.
Is it Simons?
Yeah.
It's spelled like Simmons.
I know. I had to learn.
That's where I get it
the hard
confused, because
way.
I can't remember if it's spelled like Simmons and said Simons, or
Yeah.
if it's spelled like
Yeah,
Simons and Simmons.
it's Simons.
Dumb. Anyway, I brought up Simons, and I believe Simons is like 21 too, right?
He was.
And yet you get a couple games in there. In fact,
That's it. There's a couple games where he goes off, right? And everybody's like, this guy, right? And these are regular season games. Earlier in the
Okay, yeah,
season.
he's just 21.
Here's the thing. He should be better and more confident at this point in time than he is. Because I've seen this kid. I've seen him play. He's good. He's good.
Collins is 22. So he's about a year and a half older than he is. But here's the thing. Collins already in the starting lineup.
Right.
Bing, bang, boom. Not even have to think about it. Anthony Simons, he barely gets in the rotation.
I was going to
most of
say,
the time.
he probably wouldn't be a starter. He could be.
No, but why can't he
But
be?
he's not even, like you said, he's not even in the rotation.
Like Gary Clark Jr. We see Gary Clark Jr. every game.
Yep.
We see Hazonia.
Gary Trent Jr.
Clark, what the fuck? Gary Clark Jr. is a jazz guitarist
Okay.
or a blues guitarist. I'm fine because I read Gary Clark in. That's my new text tone.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, this is not a good show so far for me. Anyway, Gary Trent Jr. already in the rotation.
Yeah.
Hazonia every time
Which
in the rotation. Whiteside
blows my mind.
Whiteside every time, and he's a vet,
Yeah.
but always there. Gabriel, we were seeing him in the playoffs pretty much every game, including a couple starts.
We did not see Ant until
We weren't seeing Ant until
We were
you guys
doomed.
were getting
no chance.
a mud hole stomped in you, and then him
When we were
and
down by 30 at the end of the game, that's when we see
and
Ant.
a couple of the other guys whose names I just don't know because they're not my team are getting thrown in there like, give him some time.
And
I
even
mean,
when he
fuck
did
it.
go in there against their second, third string, whatever you want to call it, it wasn't anything impressive. Because like you said, there's guys like Collins who I feel like they developed pretty well, but he was a guy who probably didn't need a lot of help.
I mean, he's a 10th overall pick,
Right.
too. Yeah. But-
Anthony Simons, Simons, he's got the potential there. He's still very young, like I said.
Yep.
But I think they could do some more with him. And then you gotta forget, who is it? They have another player, Portland. Why can't I think of his name right now? Anyway, he was in the bubble, but he couldn't play because he.
Nasir Little.
Yes.
And I was going to say,
he is a stud.
we're waiting on him, too.
I've seen him play live at the Moda Center like a few times. Dude tears it up, and he was one who was constantly in the rotation. And I feel like that's where Anthony should have been, relieving like CJ or Dame. And it didn't happen. It was Gary Trent, like you said. It was Hazonia. It's like this kid's supposed to have it, and I've seen it, but
and here's the thing: this is a team that, you clearly need one more big piece,
one more
big free agent. And I feel like if the Trailblazers can get that, one more big free agent to kind of help take the edge off, and a couple of these guys, you look at obviously we need to see a little bit more of Gary Trent in the postseason. He showed up in the bubble and was stroking threes, and
you gotta
to the
remember,
point we figured he couldn't miss.
I know at one point I think I said on the show I'm convinced he's the best shooter in the world.
If he can develop under pressure, that's a good thing. But we need to see
for his first playoff appearance.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, he did all right.
So what we need is Zach Collins to get healthy. We need Simons and Little to develop and make great strides heading into this season.
Yep.
And you need one more.
That's the thing.
Big
there.
piece.
We need one more big piece.
And if you look at your free agents here,
what do we have to give away for that one piece?
Your free agents this year, you're looking at Jalen Adams, Carmelo Anthony. That's a guy you
already have.
I would keep.
Yeah, we need to re-sign him for sure.
Moses Brown, who's a two-way. He's playing in D-League or G-League. Wenyen Gabriel, who I liked his defense, but he's very raw.
He's young, he's raw, but he gets in foul trouble too early, but you can work on that.
Jalen Horde, that's another G-League guy. Caleb Swanigan and Hassan Whiteside. And I feel like you're probably not going to bring him back.
That's what I was going to bring up. Whiteside is probably gone.
He's probably gone, but at the end of the day, and that
he came up big some games, but
if he leaves, that could mark a whole change in style because you guys could probably move to. It might be a little more natural for you guys to move to playing some small ball. Yeah, because
we've been playing big ball this year.
You guys were at some points running 3 7-footers in the lineup on a regular basis. You know, you guys had Whiteside, Collins, who's he's 7 feet. Whiteside, Collins, and Nurk.
And sometimes I question the coaching. I question Terry Stotts. Yeah. Because what team in the NBA more than the Trailblazers plays every game the way they do? As far as what's up with us always fucking up the third quarters, pretty much the whole second half. We can be going up by fucking 20, 30.
I know that feel in football.
Football, right? But like we're talking basketball, like almost every game that matters.
Yeah.
Any game.
Yeah.
It's a problem. It's a real problem. It needs to be addressed.
Like
I don't know if it's the coaching. I don't know if it's the players getting too comfy out there because they got a lead.
You guys don't pace yourselves, really?
Right.
It's like you drop a cinder block on the gas pedal in the first half.
Yes.
And then in the second half, it's like...
Especially that third quarter. It's like we just forgot how to...
It's literally...
just literally open mouth drool puddles on the floor. Like,
what is it, that SpongeBob...
what happened?
The pizza episode where he's like...
You know what else?
I think we're out of gas.
Yeah, like what the hell? And then they came up with this thing called Dame Time, which thank God for because it works.
And you know what else? I think Dame time is over. I think the pizza's getting cold.
You know,
No.
No, and it works, but it's like, dude, why do you guys gotta win games like this? Like, why is it that like Dame has to come rescue you, or you guys just have to like bang a bunch of threes like late in the fourth to win a game? Like, that's a defense. Let's just say this. Defense. We have a problem with defense.
Hey, threes win championships, bud.
They do.
I know a thing or two about
but
that.
you guys also had defense.
We
Literally,
did. Well, we had Draymond Green. See, here's the thing, and this is why I think
you guys had really good defense.
Draymond could come back and play really good this year because the heat is not all on him.
Not if you're getting Giannis, bro. He's gone.
That's right. Giannis is coming over, man. Nah. I say that, but honestly, I have good faith.
Just put that shit on vibrate.
I'm about to turn this thing off, dude. I'm done.
That's what I do. Put on vibrate.
Hold on. Sorry, people. There we go. Vibrate.
All right.
Your Majesty. No, just fucking. Here's what was I talking about? Okay, threes win championships, and here's the thing, and I'm gonna shift to the Warriors real quick,
Okay.
just for a bit. I won't hammer it down. Going back to what I said last week, the West, you already chalk it up. Lakers, Warriors, and prior to the start of the season, after the off.
Oh, you're talking about this coming up season?
Yeah. After the off season is all said and done, I want us to do, when we can do a full episode discussing it, way too early playoff seeds.
Oh, for sure. That'd be fun.
And we will map out our 1-8, the same way we did it with NFL. We'll do them 1-8 on the West and the East, and why. But what's interesting here, Golden State, I think they're going to be right back to.
I was gonna ask you about that. Do you think they actually come back and like none of these injuries are going to hinder any of the players, or the time loss is going to hinder them at all?
Boy, I'm going to hope so. So here's the thing. Steph and Clay, obviously.
I'm more worried about Clay than Steph.
I'm more worried about Clay than Steph, too. Steph just had a broken hand.
That's it.
But Clay was ready to go.
Was it his shooting hand?
I don't believe so.
Okay, then he should be fine.
And you got to believe that guy's been practicing nonstop since he's been able to move his hands again.
Probably since he was recommended to do it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, these guys haven't. Steph hasn't had an injury since the broken ankle.
Here's the thing, Steph. He's one of those guys who have these minds, right? That is just like, you do not give up. You'll find a way for anything. Like,
I mean, we're talking about a guy who at the start of his career,
Steph's like a perfectionist.
Well, yeah, and at the start of his career, everybody was like, "Oh, God, he's injury prone. God, you guys are going to build around." When we traded Monte
Ellis,
and people were like, "Oh, they're going with Steph. Oh, hope that pays off." It's the same kind of dynamic that we're looking at with the Simmons and Embiid stuff, where if they trade Simmons,
who was Kerr still the coach around then, or was it?
No, it was Mark Jackson.
Okay.
But it's
Good
one
on
of those
him.
things where if you stick the main thing going into sticking with Embiid over Simmons in our hypotheticals is like, oh man, I mean, he's the injury prone one here, and that's what it was looking like with Curry, and then he goes almost a decade without anything happening.
Yeah, but Curry didn't even have didn't he have like a slight like ankle thing, or like
It was like a busted ankle. He missed almost all of the strike shortened season.
But that was it, right?
Yeah, and then after that, nothing.
Okay, but like what we're seeing from Embiid, he gets hurt more than that.
Yeah. But well, right. But that's the thing. We're talking about the strike shortened season would have
That'd
been
be like a.
It was like 2010 and 2011. Most of those seasons, Curry was injured. Like
Yeah.
09, we saw it, and then most of the second two seasons, he was hurt. Here's the thing: Curry does not exactly have an injury history these days.
No.
And it was I believe non-shooting hand. He'll be fine.
I think it was actually.
Thompson, the knee, I'm worried about, but Thompson was ready to go right prior to the bubble. And
It's so weird to call him. Hear somebody call him Thompson.
I know.
It's the weirdest
Thompson,
thing.
Clay, whatever. I love the guy regardless.
Don't ever call him that again.
Clay was ready to go prior to COVID really shutting everything down, and they were telling him, "No, come on, like you can do it, but that's fine. We're tanking, bro. Get with the fucking program." So
Dude, you're good. You're in.
I'm not
We're
worried
not
about
giving
it.
you away, bro.
I'm not worried about it whatsoever.
No,
And here's the thing, with them back, that takes a lot of pressure and heat off of Draymond Green. Everybody goes, Draymond was regressing this year. Draymond was regressing.
Yeah.
No, Draymond was the only guy on the floor aside from D'Lo.
Because you know what that does? That makes you, first of all, you have to be more physically fit, more physically be able to do all this shit, right?
Yeah.
Mentally, you're out there like, okay, I have to take control of this.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, like you're bound.
Well, in
You're
that
bound
system,
it's not like, and plus, who else do you got to go around you, right? Like
Right.
Who else you got there?
right?
Who else is out there helping him?
Yeah, I mean, for you had D'Lo for a few months and Kevin Looney. I mean, that's
Not
that's
a whole lot, dude.
So, and here's the thing: in that system, you've got
But, I mean-
Steph and Clay putting up boards left and right. You don't need Draymond to score all that much. You just need him to
Right.
defend,
That's
which
a-
is what he's best at anyway.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, but how good did these guys make Draymond look? Pretty good.
Clearly pretty good, but good enough that he was first team defense.
I'm not saying the dude's bad and he's only
No.
good when these guys are around. I'm just saying, like, yeah, when they gave him open shots, because let's just say this: Golden State's one of the best, probably the best team
At passing the ball.
passing the ball around
Yeah,
for
for
open
sure.
shots. How many looks with Clay and Steph does Draymond get at the three? A whole fucking lot.
Oh, a ton.
So he'll let him rain whether he hits or misses. I've seen him hit a lot. I've seen him miss a lot.
Yeah.
But defense, yeah, that's where it's at.
I will say the veteran presence of Iguodala is probably going to be missed, but we're looking
Bring
at
him
the draft. Maybe we're looking at the draft. The second overall pick, if it doesn't get moved for a superstar. I keep saying over and over again, I really like James Wiseman.
Yeah,
I
you do
believe
keep
he's
saying that.
the center, which, I mean, we haven't had a great center since like the last couple years of Bogut. When he played with us, and I mean Zaza was fun, but he was also very dirty, and he wasn't a great player either.
Didn't they make a rule based on this motherfucker?
Yeah, because he fucked up Kawhi in the playoffs.
I couldn't stand him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I mean, I thought it was funny because
Honestly,
obviously,
though, I was fine with. Honestly, I couldn't stand Draymond because
I know.
Draymond started kicking everybody in the balls for whatever reason.
Oh yeah, no.
Why was
that
he doing
great. Oh, because it was funny. I'm not gonna defend that he kicked the guy in the
that? No,
junk.
we got to bring back the
I mean, he
the
made
old Piston Bad Boys days. He's trying to bring that back.
he made Aquaman like fucking
Not
slump over.
honestly
That
though,
was
like
funny.
it didn't actually really make me mad. It was dirty, and I kind of liked seeing it in the NBA again
because you don't see it
because
anymore.
you don't, because everybody's soft.
Or you get guys that try to sneak that shit. You know, Harden has to fish,
Oh, yeah.
hook guys' arms and stuff. And
Harden's like that one snake ass friend you can't fucking tell anything to because you know he's gonna fucking say something. Like
yeah.
Harden's one. I don't like him. He's just a really conniving.
Yeah,
he seems like a really conniving.
You invite him
snaky-
over one time and you show him your secret collection of plastic dinosaurs, and then he leaves home with most of them in his socks.
You show him like your Pokemon cards and your binder, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're missing like your freaking first edition
yeah.
Charizard.
You show him your new deck that you got for Easter with the holographic Vaporeon, which at the time is your favorite Pokemon, and you're like, wow. And then he holds it up and goes, wow, this is my favorite card. And I go, yeah, that's mine too. That's my favorite card of mine. And then he goes, what do you mean? This is my card. And then and then I go, no, it's not. And then he goes, yeah, it is. This is my card. I don't know what happened to your card. You must have lost your card because you're not very responsible with your cards, but this one's mine. Oh, your bus stop's here. You got to get off, Mike.
Folks, this is a real story. If you're wondering why it's so exact and precise, this is a true story.
Yeah, his name is Max. I don't know his last name because I haven't seen him since I was in first grade, but he was a third grader picking on a first grade kid, taking his best card.
But
and if
when
I
it's-
ever see you in the streets, I'm going to...
Your ass.
You're gonna,
your ass.
You're gonna eat a fucking cinder block, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I just learned of this story like not even a month ago, and it's cracking up.
Stay out of Longview. Fucking bastard.
But yeah,
Yeah, no, but
anyway, yeah, no.
what were we talking about?
Draymond, he was doing that. He was stirring the pot there. He knew
Yeah.
what he was doing.
Dick-
But
Dick-
like we were saying, James Harden.
Listen, Dick Kick City, dude. Oh, and by the way, that whole bit about the plastic dinosaurs in the socks, that wasn't a story. That was a
Okay, I don't know what
that
that was
was
about.
taken from That was taken from a book that if you went to Huntington, especially like Huntington Middle School, we read it in 6th grade. It was called "The Watsons Go to Birmingham."
What you guys learn about, like, people stealing your shit?
No, it was about this family.
Like,
It was
rough.
about this family growing up in Alabama, and I forget the main kid. Well, it was like in the it was to teach us about.
Responsibility.
No, they were a black family in Alabama in the 60s, and it was to teach us about
Like a racial thing?
what's the word? Yeah, but what's the word?
Diversity?
Yeah, it wasn't diversity. It was the equal rights movement.
Oh, okay.
And the thing was I forget the main character's name, but he had a friend named LJ, and he was like, yeah, LJ was an okay friend, except I would show him my plastic dinosaurs, and then I always knew he took them because he'd leave and his socks would be bulging with my plastic dinosaurs, and boy, he had a field day. He went home with 12 of them one day or something, and like,
All right, dude. See you tomorrow. What the fuck?
the visuals to that always stuck with me, and then and my brothers actually read that book in school later. Skylar
Hey, those
did.
are my dinosaur in your socks? What are you talking? There's nothing in my socks.
But we've all had one friend.
Sly son of
We've
a
all
bitch,
had
LJ.
one friend that
yeah.
like does
Uh-huh.
that shit.
Oh, I've had. Yes, we have.
So like mine is that fucking Pokemon card thing that my holographic Vaporeon that just is gone.
Son
you
of a
know,
bitch. If you guys are fans of the show, you better send all the holographic Vaporeons to Mike. His address is
we'll get a PO box going.
any fan mail. That's what
Dude,
he wants.
I'll put it this way: that original set of Pokemon cards is so near and dear to me that I actually have my favorite card.
Oh, no shit.
Courtesy of my buddy Tyler Aiken.
This is an exclusive. I've never seen it.
It's beat to shit, but my all-time favorite card I've had in my wallet.
Is that Pidgeot?
That's Jungle Pidgeot, because I love the art to it.
Nice.
This thing has made it through 4 wallets now.
Dude, I know I still have like a box of like old Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon cards somewhere stored.
But
yeah,
that was a good that was a good time killer there.
Warriors are definitely going to be a scary team, and that's what Miami said. No, that's what Denver said. Denver said, making the conference finals, we're not satisfied with that. Because that wasn't the goal, because
Yeah.
people forget teams like Golden State are going to be back in full force next year.
Oh,
so
yeah.
this was the year that we wanted to take it.
I mean, if I'm looking at the West right now, right?
It's so tough. It's so tough. It's going to be so tough next
You
year.
look at it like this: the no-brainers on the West, Lakers, which the Lakers were back this year. People forget for a few years there they weren't making jack shit. Lakers, Warriors. You got to think the Clippers are probably going to be back. Nuggets, that's 4 right there. Houston, you got to think the Thunder, depending on what they do with the Chris Paul situation. The Jazz are young and talented.
Yeah.
The Blazers have young talent that's going to get better. The Grizzlies are young and they're going to get better.
Rookie of the year there, huh?
Yeah. I mean, the Suns need to figure out what they're going to do to build around Devin Booker. The Timberwolves, they've got the #1 overall pick that they could move for a superstar or draft a kid to build around D'Lo and Cat. The West is so overwhelmingly stacked. There's 11 teams that I think the only teams I don't think are fighting for shit in the West right now are... Oh, and then you can't count out New Orleans with Zion.
Yeah, because they were like very close to making that playoff too.
The only teams in the West that I'm not sitting here scratching my head thinking about right now is Sacramento. Let me make that wider. Oh, and Dallas with Luka and
Oh, you don't forget
Porzingis.
about Dallas. That team is very good.
Okay, so the only teams that I really am not thinking about when it comes to the West is San Antonio and Sacramento.
Which is kind of funny when we bring up San Antonio
I
for what a
never
run
thought-
they went on.
I never thought I would ever say I'm counting San Antonio.
Well, you know what their
out.
biggest mistake was giving Kawhi away to the Raptors, who ended up winning the championship. Isn't that and I think that's why that championship is probably like in our generation one of the greatest.
It's so
in
poetic,
my
isn't it?
opinion.
Like,
Yeah,
like there was such a fuss between Popovich
Mm-hmm.
and Kawhi about load management and this and that, and
Which
Kawhi
is fine.
doing
Because
and then-
I love Pop. Everybody loves Pop.
yeah, but Pop, when he sent him to Toronto, that wasn't like, all right, we'll give you what you want. This was have
Fuck
fun,
you.
have fun in the snow, bitch.
Yeah.
And he goes and wins a title.
It's like, dude.
Oh, and we'll take Toronto's best player too and do jack shit with him. Like,
And maybe that was a pride thing. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, it was incredible how
it's kind of funny though. It's kind of like you remember last year with Antonio Brown, where it had come out that the Steelers had actually dealt him to the Bills at first, and then I was like, oh man, they sent him to go die up in the snow, and now it's kind of like, wow, I kind of wish he was there right now. Like,
exactly that.
Like, can you imagine how over the top that team would be? But meanwhile, you look at the East. The East there's nobody that's not in the playoffs outside of
No, here's the thing. The East, I was gonna say on that too. It's gonna be more interesting this year, I think.
You think so?
I think because okay, obviously we spoke on Brooklyn a little bit. Okay, they're gonna be big contenders. Okay,
Yeah, but here's the thing: they were in the playoffs without their players.
exactly, and they almost took down.
Here's
they
the
were
thing,
a
though.
shot away from getting to that play-in.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction, but that's not really so bold. There will be no new playoff teams in the East. They will keep the same 8. The order is just going to be shuffled.
For sure. I think what makes it more interesting in the East is that Brooklyn team. Okay,
Yeah.
Miami. We've seen it now. Okay, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: the Bucks, if Giannis stays,
Yeah.
and then
But if
you
we're
got
talk-
the Celtics.
If we're talking at this very moment, right? Atlanta, they're
Out of
young,
those 4 teams, though,
like Atlanta, they're out of it right now. They have some young. Trae Young is great, but he's like the East Devin Booker.
right?
He's not. They're not doing anything
He's
right
got
now.
no help. He's got no help.
Boston and Brooklyn, they'll be top 4 seeds. Charlotte, they have the number 3 pick, but they're not
Nope,
gonna.
they're not going nowhere.
They're not making a push. Chicago's got the number 4 pick. They're not making a push. Cleveland, no
Sorry.
way. Detroit, with D Rose and Blake Griffin, I don't think so.
No, I would say there's definitely a closer race in the West than there would be in the East.
Maybe if this was 2010, yeah. The Pacers, I don't think so. Or I'm sorry, the Pacers will be there, but they're not going to be.
They're not better than the 4 teams I just stated.
They'll probably go down to a couple seeds. They'll probably be like
so?
6 instead of 4. Yeah, the Heat, they'll be there. The Bucks will be there, especially if Giannis stays. The Knicks
I
aren't.
think they're only there if Giannis stays.
The Knicks aren't going there as of right now.
The Knicks are talking damn Melo again,
They're talking Westbrook.
and they're talking Westbrook.
The Magic, sure, why not?
Maybe. I mean, they snuck in this year, I guess.
Philly should be there with
Philly.
with Doc Rivers, yeah.
Who
And then
knows?
Toronto, yeah, and then Washington. Don't make me laugh. So the East will remain the same. The only variable I could see maybe is somebody pushing, because Orlando, if they get in, it's 8. And it could be maybe
Right.
somebody pushing Orlando for the 8 seed. But I just don't see it right now.
And yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, it's more interesting, I guess, in the East, in my opinion, is because the teams that are going to be fighting for this conference final into the finals, I think it's going to be a closer race than what we've seen in the past few years, right?
Yeah.
Past few years, you could call it pretty much at the beginning of the season who's going to do it, because there was nobody even close to the top.
Oh, we did. As soon as Milwaukee, you get like 12 games in, and Milwaukee's sitting there like 11-1. We're like, oh, they're going to be number 1 seed in the
Right.
East.
And guess what happened this year? Not that. And now there's like 4 or 5 teams that I feel like have just as good of a shot as the next guy. Like,
Yeah.
it's different, I feel like, than the last few years.
Yeah.
Not as close as the West, because I feel like the West could go several ways.
Like I said, different order, but it'll be the same teams.
Same teams. I just feel like I'm not saying just all of them getting to the playoffs, but I'm talking about which team can hit the finals. I feel like there's like 4 or 5 teams in there. It could go either way.
Oh yeah.
It could go any way. I don't feel like there's one team in the East that is going to totally dominate, except for maybe Brooklyn.
So
that team's scary.
let's talk real quick. As we predicted, so last week or the week before, we talked about Doc Rivers is the new coach of the 76ers.
Yes.
Within a week of being fired from the Clippers, he gets the 76ers job, which Ty Lue was talking to them about. But now, in the move that anybody could have predicted after the Rivers move, Ty Lue has now finalized a deal for a 5-year contract to be the new head coach of the LA Clippers. He'd been the assistant coach there this year. So it'll be interesting. He will now be coaching in the same conference as LeBron. He'll be a head coach, and this could be a potential rivalry now. Former coach.
I mean, I feel like it already is a rivalry, but yeah.
I think this could start. I mean, it will.
Yeah. No, with him being Clippers, Clippers,
Yeah.
Lakers. It's definitely a rivalry.
But I mean, now between
Yeah.
Lou and LeBron, former coach and player.
Oh yeah,
that
it makes it even bigger.
Yeah, that'll amp it up some. Just kind of an interesting move, but it's one that was fairly predictable. So I think the only vacancies now for head coaching that we need to talk about is OKC and I believe Indianapolis. And Billy Donovan is still floating around. We don't know where he's going to go yet, so should be interesting. Anyway, let's move into football.
Yeah, we kind of spent more time on basketball than I thought we would.
That's fine though. It's
good.
It's a good time. So first of all, real quick, we'll get it out of the way. Lev Bell, cut by the Jets, signed by the Chiefs, ring chasing. That's fine. Get his ring. He signed, I assume, for the vet minimum, because here's the thing. These players have to be smart.
Yep.
Especially if you're running back and you know you're not going to get paid a ton. The Jets waived him. They owed him, I believe, $6.6 million this year. Now, if he signs anywhere for more than that, the Jets don't owe him that money.
Well, apparently Miami was waving big money in his face. I didn't look at the dollar, but
right. But here's the thing: say he signs for like $4 or $5 million.
Yeah,
the Jets still got to pay him the $6 million. So I guarantee he's looking at the biggest possible paycheck, and he's looking to shaft the Jets as well. Him and Adam Gase not so happy.
And here's the thing: that's probably, as much as I don't like the whole situation that went on with Lev Bell and the Jets and all that, the drama, prima donna shit. That was probably obviously the best landing spot for him as far as if he wants a ring.
Yeah.
But not even that. We all know how that fucking offense works. How Andy Reid, he utilizes all of his players very well and gets them all into the offense, rotates them. Like, he's probably one of the best at it.
And that's why all their guys stay fresh.
Yes.
And because they are the deepest offense in the NFL.
And that's why I think Lev Bell is going to thrive there.
So then we keep this moving. Patriots, more COVID tests.
Yeah, I was just reading that this morning, man.
More positives. There was another one. There was another team, the Colts, I think, that had some.
But they had like 4 false positives,
They were all false.
So they like, it was like 4 a.m. I got an update that they closed the facilities, and then it was like maybe 10 or 11 this morning. They opened them back up because they were false positives. So we're still learning about this whole COVID thing and how it works. But
Colts and Bengals, they'll be going as normal.
Is New England going? Is that game going to go? Is it Denver, New England? Is that game going?
Yeah, that'll be going as well.
Because it wasn't there a player tested positive, right?
Well, let me see here.
That's what I read.
Patriots will be canceling the Friday practice after COVID-19 test per source. There's a second test today. They are waiting to confirm as a positive.
So that kind of scares me because...
That sucks, though, because I just picked up Julian Edelman in my fantasy team.
And I only have one tight end in my roster, and it's Noah Fant, and he's still nursing an ankle injury, and I'm trying to trade for Johnny Smith.
Falcons tests have cleared. They've been good. There was some worry there.
That's good because he's
and
trading
then-
Julio.
There's some screwed up stuff coming out about the Redskins. I'm sorry, the Washington football team.
Quit saying Redskins.
You racist. Ex-Washington cheerleaders shaken by lewd videos. I don't think they viewed us as people. There was
Did you see
something.
that? Did you see
Dan
that?
Snyder
Did
said.
you see that I sent you that?
Yeah, apparently he said something like you keep them skinny and with huge knockers or I'll fucking kill you.
He said, "Keep them skinny with big tits, or I'll fucking kill you." That's
Oh,
literally
wait a
what he
minute.
said
There it is. Hold on.
to the director, the cheerleader director.
Dan Snyder's alleged lewd remark about Washington's cheerleaders revealed in a new report. Hey, I just want to point out 2 months ago, I was calling for Dan Snyder for the NFL to oust Dan Snyder so Jeff Bezos could buy the team.
Yes, I remember this.
Washington
very well.
football team. Yeah, I think I named
Guy's
the
a sick son of a
that
bitch.
was episode 19, I believe. Dan, It's called Dan Snyder Gonna Get It. The Washington football team's long history of alleged misconduct toward the organization's cheerleaders was further exposed in a new report Friday. The team owner, Daniel Snyder, was among those implicated in the latest Washington Post bombshell. Donald Wells, who was the director of the cheerleading team from 1997 to 2009, told the reporter that he regretted failing to do more to protect the women he led and revealed a remark that Snyder told him. You better keep them skinny with big tits or I'll fucking kill you, Snyder allegedly told Wells at one point during his tenure with the organization. The new report further reveals the former cheerleaders' disdain for how they were allegedly treated while in the organization. The Washington Post reveals accusations in August by several women who detailed incidents of inappropriate behavior in the organization over the last decade, including Snyder allegedly telling a cheerleader to go up to a hotel room with one of his friends to get to know each other better. Quote. The request for an unofficial cheerleading video showing the cheerleaders being inadvertently exploited and having to abide by the stringent rules while in the presence of Snyder. Chastity Evans? Chastity Evans? Is that the name?
That's probably Chastity.
Holy moly. Who appeared in the unofficial video, told the newspaper that she hoped the organization would have treated her and her colleagues with respect. She says, quote, would have hoped the team would have held us to these high standards, would treat us with respect, and uphold the same standards. Instead, they violated our trust with what sounds like a soft porn video. Evans said she didn't think about the low pay or work conditions when she was younger. I didn't see it when I was younger because I loved what I did, she said. I don't think they viewed us as people. They viewed us as replaceable objects.
Yeah, that's literally what it sounds like, and that's pretty fucked up, and that's pretty sick for him to say something along those lines.
The Washington football team issued a statement to the Post over the allegations. Quote, like many companies and organizations, the Washington football team is examining its historical practices and behaviors.
How is this guy not gone?
We take the criticisms of our cheerleading program seriously, and we remain committed to reviewing all programs thoroughly, the statement read.
You know what it sounds like to me? That this guy, Dan Snyder, has something over these guys' heads. He's got them in on his sick little thing that he's doing. and how does he still have, like,
At the end of the day, what we need
I
to
guess
remember
you got money, dude. I guess you can do whatever you want because it's pretty sick, dude. Like, everybody knows it's out in the air. All the allegations.
Damn, somebody unfollowed me on Twitter. What a pencil neck geek.
But, like, how is Dan Snyder, like, do they really want this guy representing that team? Like,
No.
or is it like that he
problem
owns
is
the rights?
He owns it.
Yeah.
He owns the team, so they don't have a choice.
So can nobody do anything about that, even with all this shit going on?
They would have to kind of pull a coup like the NBA did with Donald Sterling. So, I mean, unfortunately, not at the moment. I would love it, though. I would love for Jeff Bezos to come in there and buy that team.
I mean, can everybody just, like, please boycott?
That guy sneezes. That guy sneezes and makes millions of dollars. Jeff Bezos, not Dan Snyder.
Yeah, I bet you he wipes his ass with $100 bills. I'm sure he does.
So with that said, let's get into football. Let's get into our awesome segment here. Let me make sure my volume is up because this is where I like to get all radio hack and do sound effects. We've got breakers and bus.
Jesus.
Ooh, that almost got funny. So breakers. I'll go ahead and start us off here.
Sure, bud.
This is a guy who is a backup. He's being thrust into this starting role due to injury. A guy who I've been high on since he was drafted last year. My breaker this week is Minnesota Vikings running back Alexander
Oh
Mattison.
my God, dude.
Is that your breaker?
Good thing I got two.
Good.
Because, yes, it is.
Alexander Mattison is my guy. They have another guy, Mike Boone, but I really like Madison. He was drafted, I believe, in the second round last year.
Here's the thing. Madison, great backup. I think Boone is like their secret weapon.
Okay.
My opinion.
So with Madison, he where's the Wikipedia page on this guy?
No, but literally, dude, like I'm not Skyler. Like I literally had this fucking written down.
So Alexander Madison, he was taken in the 3rd round. My bad. But this is a guy who was drafted with the purpose of supplanting a very injury-prone Dalvin Cook. Last year was the first year since Cook got drafted that we actually saw more of a full season output out of the guy. And in the times that Madison has been out on the field, he's actually shown a lot of promise. There was one week where he matched up yard for yard with Cook, but he had half the carries. He just didn't have the touchdown run that Dalvin Cook had. He shows a lot of promise. He's very explosive, and I think him and Cook could really develop into a premier tandem.
Kind of like Chubb and Kareem.
Like Chubb and Kareem. Yeah, absolutely. So I like the idea of this guy moving forward. If only for just him being a 1-week wonder. If you didn't have him as your Dalvin Cook handcuff,
pick this guy up if he's on the waiver.
Go get him, or go get him to shaft the Dalvin Cook owner in your fantasy league. I predict a good week against a very fragile Atlanta defense, and they're certainly railing. They're 0-5. Their head coach is gone. I don't even know who their interim coach is, and Minnesota's looking to get some wins back, and they could certainly just kick this team while they're down.
Yeah, I definitely remember when Madison showed up late in the season last year when Cook was out, and he blew it up. So good pick. That was good thing I came equipped with too. So my breaker of the week, running back as well.
Okay.
I think it's going to be Myles Gaskin.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I like to call him, Gas Can.
Tell me about it.
Got the gas in the tank. I'm telling you, he's going to run all over the Jets, dude. That Jets defense is terrible. We all know.
Yeah.
We could call it the crap bowl, whatever you want, but Miami's actually not looking too bad.
Honestly,
I'm gaining a lot more respect for Miami.
Miami has been a pleasant surprise this year.
Really. Defensively, offensively, Fitzmagic's turning it up.
Fitzmagic is playing hard, man. Yeah.
Their tight end, Gesicki, however you want to announce it.
Yeah.
He's been doing great things. And Gas Can has been doing great. I think he's going to run all over the Jets, man.
Gas can.
I think if you have him on your waiver wire, you definitely need to pick him up. He's going to go off. So that's my breaker of the week.
So, you know what's funny that I just kind of realized is I'm pretty sure the Falcons have 2 former Buccaneers head coaches on their staff.
Oh, no shit.
Interim head coach is Raheem Morris, former head coach of the Buccaneers, and their offensive coordinator is Dirk Cutter, who was the Buccaneers' last head coach before Arians.
Maybe that's the problem.
And yet, none of that intel will help them at all.
Nope.
Because it's Tom fucking Brady.
It's the GOAT.
Yeah,
it's
right.
a GOAT, bro. Like,
it doesn't matter what you know. Okay, now we're heading into bus.
okay.
Oh God, did I forget?
I will start with my bust.
Please do, because
my bust
forgot my
this
bust.
week, it may not be fair. It may be fair. I think Andy Dalton. I think it's gonna obviously Dak's gone, right? Dak.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, I think everybody remembers that gruesome injury. Really sad.
Yeah.
Anyway, Andy Dalton. I don't think he's going to do it. I think it's going to be a Zeke game, which I think a lot of these games are going to be funneled to Zeke, which is fine.
Who are they playing this week?
They're playing the Cardinals?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. An important.
Here's the thing: Cardinals' defense is trash right now.
Yeah, and they just lost probably their best defensive player in Chandler Jones for the whole year.
Even with that, I don't think Andy Dalton. I think he's been a backup for that. He got his first game in, which was only the second half last game.
Yeah.
When did he come in? About the second half.
Like sometime in the third quarter.
Late fourth. He did great.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. He did great. But now he's got to come into this game full. Got to play a full game. Maybe he knows the offense more than I think, but I don't know, man. I don't. He's been a start, and here's the thing: he's been a starting quarterback since he's entered the league until just this last season.
Yeah.
Which you don't really get a lot of those as far as backups go, right? Whenever you get a backup, it's usually like a rookie or it's a guy who's been
like
in the
a
league for a
journeyman.
while,
Yeah.
who wasn't quite the QB1. I'm not trying to throw any shade on
Well, this
Andy
is
Dalton.
just his
This-
first
this
year
is going
as a
to be
backup.
yeah, and this is his first year as a backup, different team,
Yeah.
and this is going to be his first game with this team, knowing he's just the starter. I'm not saying he's going to do bad the rest of the season. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this game, I don't feel like he's going to have it all worked out,
Right.
and I feel like I feel like he's probably going to throw a couple picks.
Okay.
My opinion. He's going to get a little too comfortable.
By the way, I want to give a little shout out to Google and not fixing whatever the hell is going on with their stats data for the individual NFL games. This is why I didn't do a Monday show, because my Monday show is all stats and morning recap. And I can't do that if there's no stats to look at, because I ain't a rich man with an infinite amount of time doing this as my job, so I can't do the fucking NFL Game Pass and watch hours and hours of game footage. I need the stats and shit.
Yeah, I just feel like
so-
Dalton's going to he's going to try to do too much
wanna
when he doesn't need to do a lot.
I want to put an open challenge out to all you nerds at Google. Throw a football. One time in your life. Throw a fucking football.
Don't worry, your arm's still going to be all right. You're not going to tear a rotator cuff or nothing.
You pencil nut geeks.
I'm getting that
So
over.
so that's my bust of the week. Andy Dalton. Agree, disagree. That's where I'm at.
My bust of the week is Andy Reid with his face shield. He's going to collapse on the field. No, my bust of the week is Lev Bell.
That's bold.
It's bold, but you know what? He doesn't know the Chiefs playbook yet.
Is he even starting this week?
No, but you know what? You know that there's going to be
Then
some
it's guaranteed bust.
But there's some people out there that are going to be like, Mommy's on a good team now. We're going to put him on our fantasy team.
Because you don't even know the offense yet,
He
probably.
doesn't know the offense. This is going to be reminiscent of Leonard Fournette week 1 in Tampa. Don't expect a lot of output from Lev Bell. Now week 2, maybe. Maybe week 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. But week 1, don't do it. He'll probably only get like 8 to 10 carries.
I believe it.
So just beware. He's not a bad player, obviously. I still think a top 12 running back.
Yeah, this is like a start him, sit him.
Just don't bite on it this week.
Yeah.
Who are the Chiefs playing? The Bills? Don't bite on him this week. So
Although the Bills got torn the fuck up last week.
I don't want to talk about it because I like the
You know who
Bills
I
too
should have
much.
called my bust of the week too, and I might double down. No, I won't double down.
Yeah, don't
I think
double down.
I think Josh Allen will come back.
He will, dude. Don't.
That was just a fluke game.
Yeah, man. Why you gotta?
No, I'm telling you, it was.
harsh on
I'm
him.
not. It was a fluke game.
All right, so let's get into scores. We are talking Texans. We are talking Titans.
Oh yeah, I already know this. Yeah.
Titans are 3.5 point favorites in Tennessee. And where are we leaning, Brady?
We're going Tennessee, dude.
Yeah.
The ass whooping they gave the
Whoops.
Bills, who we were so high praises of as one of the best teams.
I think the Bills.
Right now?
I will say I do think the Bills just had a bad game, but
Bills were
I think the Titans defense really came into their own and played
what it
hard,
was.
and that offense, Tannehill couldn't be stopped.
Tannehill, and this sucks for me, guys. I could have had a perfect week last week. My Hawks won. Russell Wilson, the GOAT. DK Metcalf, the other GOAT. Okay, that was fine. We had the pick'ems at work.
Mm-hmm.
All I had to do was have Buffalo win, and I win. Didn't happen. You know why? Tannehill and the Titans. Also, fantasy, I could have won. I had Derrick Henry going, and I had Diggs going. Guess who decided to shit the bed? Josh Allen. So there was nothing there with Diggs. Henry had a great game. But who had a better game than Henry on that team?
All right, taking a look at what
No,
we saw
dude,
on
no.
Tuesday.
Tannehill. Tannehill played out of his mind, and that's who my opponent had. And, yeah, so I could have had a perfect week. Whatever. Tannehill, he's hot right now. If he's somewhere on your waivers, or if you can trade for him, I would. Dude's looking a lot better than last year. Not even saying he was looking bad last year, but he's finding his place as the leader of that team and the offense, and he has this charisma about him. He has this leadership role that he's playing well. And
he's reminding me of Alex Smith toward like his last couple years.
You like that?
Or like Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, like literally, like that's how he's playing.
He's reminding me of like his last, like Alex Smith's last couple years as a Chief.
Yep.
You remember when he was playing? All of a sudden, he's playing his best football and throwing his best deep balls and everything like that.
Yep.
On paper, Tannehill's yardage will not blow you away. It wasn't doing it last year, but 3 passing TDs, a rushing TD. Tennessee showed faith in this guy when they traded for him instead of waiting around for Mariota to get it together. They put him in there, and it has paid off every game since. And if not for him, if they just rolled with Mariota and stuck their feet in the ground, Titans would not have been a playoff team last year. Period.
No. And thing with he's a master of like these like short like outs and these like corner routes, and like he's so good at like, and he's starting to rush more, and he's getting the yardage, he's getting the first downs. Like he is so dialed in right now. Like, he's a different quarterback than I've seen since he's been in the league, really. Tannehill, he's got it going on right now. So I mean, Tennessee all the way this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me check the over/under here.
As far as the Texans go, I'm not
over/under 53. I think I'll take the over on that.
Yeah, I'll take the over after last week.
I think the Texans can put up points as well. We didn't even really talk about the Texans.
Oh, and winter's coming. Derrick Henry is going to put you on your fucking ass.
Jesus. They're starting to establish chemistry with the receivers in Tennessee, and they rallied around Romeo Crennel, and they got a win.
Hey, and Derrick Henry is coming alive now. He is coming alive. He hasn't done like a whole lot this beginning of the season, and now he's starting. Before this week, he went off this week.
So let's move on to the Washington football team taking on the New York Giants.
It's actually a tough one.
Giants are 2.5-point favorites at MetLife Stadium with the killer turf. I'm going Washington on this one.
And that's where we're gonna respectfully disagree.
I think Daniel Jones is a giant fucking nerd.
Yeah, he's a I want to dub him as Fumbleina. This dude is a fumble master.
I think Chase Young is going to push Daniel Jones into a locker at halftime, and then he'll spend the rest of the game trying to get out. And they'll have to forfeit because they don't have a quarterback.
I think the Giants, they got to get one, right? They're going to get one over on Washington.
They don't got to get one, though. That's the thing.
Okay, here's the thing. Despite Dak Prescott with that injury last game, the Giants almost beat them, and they were winning pretty much the whole game. It was in their control pretty much the whole game.
But the Redskins' defense is better than the Cowboys' defense.
I agree on that.
Remember, 8 sacks against Philly, and the Giants' O-line is not much better than Philly's.
But their offense is not better than Dallas's, and Dallas couldn't get it done on the Giants' defense. I'm not trying to say the Giants' defense is anything to fucking boast about because it's not.
But okay, here's the thing.
Here's the matchup, dude. I think the Giants are going to come in feeling pretty good about what they were doing to Dallas, and they're gonna roll with that.
So allegedly, Kyle Allen is still the starter in Washington. Obviously, I love Terry McLaurin.
Terry.
You got Logan Thomas at tight end. He's been decent, but not great. Antonio Gibson, though. He's becoming a dual threat receiver running back. I like him. It's defense for me. And I think Washington's defense gives them the best chance at winning. I expect
that.
Daniel Jones to get sacked a lot. And here's the thing. Daniel Jones looks like a scared puppy out in the pocket. Any pressure and the dude crumbles. And what's been Dallas's big problem all year? It's been lack of pressure, lack of defensive presence.
Sure.
They give up a lot of fucking points because what happened? Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones, and this was a good argument. I believe believe it was Cowherd that brought this up. Jerry Jones hired a coach that he could mold and manipulate. He didn't hire, because here's the thing, he likes having coaches that listen to him. That's why Jimmy Johnson.
He likes a yes man.
Yeah, that's why Jimmy Johnson didn't last very long. It's why Bill Parcells didn't last very long over there. Mm-hmm. He wants a guy who will go, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. I'll do that for you. Which is why Jason Garrett made it 10 fucking years. Mm-hmm. So what's he do? He hires a guy that he can manipulate. Mike McCarthy. He was just thankful to have a fucking job again, even though Aaron Rodgers was saying the game is passing him by.
Yeah.
What does McCarthy do? Instead of getting a cutting-edge defensive coordinator, young defensive mind, he hires a dinosaur in Mike Nolan.
Yep.
Mike Nolan, who's been coasting off of the defensive success of the 2000 Ravens for 20 years now, despite the fact that his last 10 years as defensive coordinator was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
This guy hasn't been a defensive coordinator. It's been the first time since 2013. Matter of fact, I'll look this up. And the only reason why he did this is because when Mike Nolan was head coach of the 49ers, he gave McCarthy a job.
Okay.
So he's like, oh, I'll scratch your back too. Here's the thing. The last defense he was coordinator of, 2012 to 2014 Atlanta Falcons. Yeah. When have we ever said the Falcons were a pummeling force on defense?
Not in my lifetime.
Never. They've had maybe two guys I can think of off the top of my head that I've been like, oh, man, look out.
Who's coaching the Falcons now? Do we even know?
I just said Raheem Morris.
Oh, okay.
He's the interim coach. He was former Tampa Bay coach. I can only think of two Falcons players on defense that I've ever been like, oh, shit. John Abraham and Brent Grimes.
Yeah.
For a couple seasons. Because Grimes was such a mean, dirty corner.
He was a dog.
But that was it. Like, and Nolan, I mean, you look at this. Okay. Oh my gosh, he wasn't even the coordinator with them for that Super Bowl win, was he? No, he wasn't. He was the defensive coordinator from 02 to 04. He had Ray Lewis and Ed Reed there, and everybody was like, "Oh man, that defense smashes the defense." No, you have two boss ass guys doing all that. They did that before he even got there.
It had nothing to do with him.
And no way. His head coaching tenure in San Francisco was terrible. His defensive tenure in 09 when the Broncos wound up picking second overall in 2010. No, absolutely not.
Got a little bit of credit for some guys that were there that didn't need him.
This guy has been coasting off of Ray Lewis and Ed Reed for 18 years now. Terrible. That Cowboys defense was bad, and then they lose Leighton Vander Esch, and they lost another guy. Bad. And that's why the Giants put up 34 on them. I don't see that. Jack Del Rio's Washington defense is definitely better than that.
I'm not saying the Giants are going to put up that much on them.
I'm just saying if Washington wins this game, which I think they will, it's defense and it's not offense. I predict a low-scoring game.
Don't drink that Kool-Aid again, dude.
No, I am. I'm all in. In matter of fact, is that going to be my upset this week?
I mean,
is that going to be
much of an upset though?
Is that technically going to be my upset this week?
Technically, it might be. No, I think the Giants are favored.
No, let me make sure. No, the Giants are favored. That's what I mean. So I pick Washington.
Okay,
is that my upset? Is that my upset?
Okay, I mean, yeah, go for it, dude.
Is that my fucking upset? That is my... Let me find it.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be like a blow. Like, it's going to be close, I think.
That's my upset.
All right.
So, no, I got Washington. You got New York.
Mm-hmm.
And over under 43 on that. And I take the under.
I'll take the under all day.
All day. Okay. Atlanta Falcons, Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota 4-point favorites in Minnesota. And I already said it before. I got Minnesota in this.
Yeah, I got Vikings. Which Julio Jones is healthy now, so maybe I would have. I don't think that would matter, really. It's the defense that I can't trust with the Falcons, like we were just talking about.
And that's what I mean.
But Minnesota's defense isn't much better.
Minnesota's defense is shockingly bad. But remember, they did lose.
Here's the thing, though. They have young defensive backs.
Yeah.
They're all, like, rookies, like...
Yeah, who did they...
Young guys, dude. So, like, Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Russell Gage, they could do some damage if it's there. They could do some damage.
If the running game gets off the way I think it will with Madison, and if Kirk Cousins keeps his head straight, this will be a high-scoring game.
Right,
Absolutely.
and then that's my other thing is why I went with Minnesota with the run game. Madison, I feel like Madison is. I don't think he's as good as Cook, but I think he's right there. He's knocking on the door.
You are correct. They have two young corners out there. Jeff Gladney and Cameron Dantzler are both starting because they lost.
Well, and that was the problem with
Xavier Rhodes.
That was the problem with the Seahawks. If our O-line could have just gave Russ a little more time, bro, he would have been throwing all over these fools all day.
Oh yeah.
But the O-line isn't there with the Seahawks. We know that. It's not fine-tuned yet. And I feel like Atlanta can really just throw some bombs on these guys. But also on the other hand, it's gonna be a shootout in my opinion. I feel like if Kirk Cousins is on his game, you got Thielen.
I mean, it's definitely the secondary that's the problem here. You got Yannick Ngakoue on that defense.
Yeah.
I mean, Daniel Hunter's on IR. That makes so much sense now.
Okay.
He's probably the most underrated defensive player probably in the NFL if I really had to think about it. This is a guy that really should be higher ranked on most people's list. That makes a lot of sense. Then this will be a shootout.
Like I almost want to change my pick to Atlanta, but I'm gonna stick with my guns and go with. I think Minnesota can really run it up.
Atlanta's established a losing
because like I said, their defense is so fucking trash. I don't care how many points they can score. How many points can you defend?
Well, and they've established losing culture. And let's keep in mind now, Minnesota's offense is pretty stellar as well. They may not have three receivers really catching the ball, but you've got Thielen. Jefferson has come on as a really great rookie.
Yep.
Kyle Rudolph is a steady hand at tight end.
He'll probably have a breakout game. He could be a breaker this week.
I think Madison is gonna be great this week as well.
We could have two Vikings being breakers this week.
Yeah, and they've got a great young center in Garrett Bradbury. That line is really good.
Did you peep Adam McQuaid's his prediction? He thinks Matty Ice ends up with the Bears by the end of the season.
Can I play a sound for that?
Where did that come from?
What are we? What kind of sound are we thinking here?
We got carnival music or something. We got something in there.
That's a hot take. So how about something like
hot. Yeah. Hot. I don't know about all that, bro. I mean, they got Foles.
Carnival music. I need to add that.
Like they got Nick Foles, man. I mean, this guy's been to the Super Bowl. This guy has won the Super Bowl. This guy, he's pretty much saved every team he's been on. I mean, yes, he had some bad years, but Matt Ryan, why? That'd be like the Texans trading away Hopkins for fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Like no. Atlanta, they already have problems on defense. They don't need to worry about a quarterback situation. It's never going to happen.
I will add carnival music to the list of jingles I need for this for the playlist for the soundboard, my jank ass soundboard playlist.
But
I don't know about all that.
I don't like that take. I just don't. I mean, no disrespect to you, Adam, if you're listening, but
it's bold. You want to hear another bold take? I think that despite Jerry Jones saying Dak Prescott's the future of the franchise, I don't think he actually commits to him. I think Dak Prescott is the quarterback of the 49ers next year.
Yeah, I think Jerry's blowing hot air.
He's just shutting the people up that he needs to shut up. No, Dak Prescott will be the 49ers quarterback next year, mark my word.
Because we already seen Jimmy G exposed.
Over under 54 for this game.
Over. It's going to be a shootout.
I say over as well. Bears, Panthers. Panthers 1 point favorites in Carolina, and I you know what? I'm sipping the Panther Kool-Aid, brother.
I'm going Panthers.
This is like
Bridgewater.
Ever since they beat my team, this is my third week in a row. I'm going all in on Panthers.
They're not that bad, even without McCaffrey.
This is the thing, though, and this is like I said, and I'll keep saying it every week.
Who's that fuck?
Everybody and their brother said Panthers are going to tank and go 3-13.
Nope.
No, they're going like 7-9, 8-8. Yeah. They could push for.
They could knock on the door of the playoffs, dude,
for a wild card, especially when you've got nobody else from the. You got to think about this when you think about wild card. think about wild card and you look at who could knock on the door, you got to look at the other divisions.
Yep.
So for one, NFC East, there will be one team from that division that makes the playoffs. The other three will get probably top 10 draft picks. You look at your fellow division. Okay, Falcons aren't getting in.
Hell no.
Saints, Bucks, for sure. So you have a shot there. NFC North, Vikings aren't looking like it. The Bears, they're starting strong, but they could easily flame out because of their quarterback trouble. Then you're looking at Packers are in for sure. Lions, no way. And then NFC West, Niners aren't going to do it.
Fuck no.
Cardinals, maybe. They're fringe.
They're very... It's hit or miss with those guys.
And then Rams and Seahawks, yes. So there is definitely a case to be made for the Panthers right now to be in position to maybe go 8-8, 9-7, and get in on a wild card. I don't see why not. That defense plays very passionate defense. They're very underrated, I would say.
I would say immensely.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Underrated.
Teddy Bridgewater is extremely underrated this season as a quarterback, and Robbie Anderson.
Robbie Anderson is probably one of the best wide receivers in the game right now as far as
that
yardage.
division, in a division with Mike Evans, Julio Jones, Michael Thomas, Calvin Ridley. I know that these guys have been hurt, but
like a lot of these guys haven't even played.
A lot of these guys have missed games, but he's also got DJ Moore on that team. DJ Moore is no slouch.
But everybody was thinking, is it a fluke? Is it a fluke with Robbie Anderson?
Godwin,
it's not a fluke with Robbie Anderson.
Robbie
He's got
Anderson
it. He's
gets
got it.
over 100 yards every game.
What was he on the Jets last year?
Yeah.
There you go.
Now he's got a...
Because between the Jets, you had Crowder and Anderson. Okay, there can only be one, which is Crowder, obviously, on the Jets now.
Was Crowder there last year, too?
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's how bad the Jets are.
Yeah.
Robbie Anderson has a quarterback in Bridgewater infinitely better than Sam Darnold. They fucked Sam Darnold so bad.
Here's the thing. I feel so bad for Sam Darnold. You put him on any other team, he's a stud.
Now, here's the thing. I feel so good for Bridgewater because just
for
2 or
sure.
3 years ago, Bridgewater was actually on the Jets
He was.
before the Saints.
He was. And then he went to the Saints to back up
Breeze,
and
and
then
the rest
he
is
played
history.
a little bit when Breeze was hurt, and he fucking was on fire.
I'm telling you, Bridgewater is the most underrated quarterback in the NFL right now. Robbie Anderson, the most underrated receiver
Put some respect
right now.
on these guys' names.
And even though we're talking that highly about him, DJ Moore is still there too. DJ Moore played
He's
phenomenal
got some volume
last
over
year.
there. He got some volume over there too this year.
He played great last year with Kyle Allen as his quarterback. So I really like these guys. And Christian McCaffrey, I don't know if he's coming back this game either. But if he is, then definitely put them down.
I don't know if he is this game. But I would say in the next 2-3 weeks he's definitely back. But
Let me make sure.
with or without Christian McCaffrey, Carolina. With or without him.
Oh, Mike Davis has been playing
I was just going to
tremendous.
say Mike Davis has been filling in quite nicely.
Let's see. Panthers. McCaffrey was a limited participant in Wednesday, Thursday's practice. They said they expect him to play week 6.
Okay, so for sure.
Limited snaps, obviously, but
Both the guys that are starting for me this week were limited too. And
so we both got the Panthers in that, and let's go over. I think it'll be low scoring though. 44.5. I'm tempted to just take the under.
Barely. I'm gonna say barely the over.
Okay. Detroit Lions and the Jaguars, and this is they're looking at it being a high scoring game. 3.5 point favorites. Detroit visiting Jacksonville, and I don't remember who.
I know I picked the Jags because I was getting shit on for it, but you know what?
I don't remember who I picked in the pick'em, but you have the Jags. Whoops. I don't remember who I picked in there, and that's going to bother me because this is very much a toss-up.
I'm sure you picked Detroit because when I turned mine in, Skylar was like, "What? You picked the Jaguars?"
I'm
pretty sure I mentioned it to you, and you were like,
I feel like I picked the Jaguars, but I'll say Detroit. I'll pull Skylar potentially and pick Detroit here. Yeah, I don't like this game very much.
I don't like the game at all.
I don't like it either.
It could go either way very easily.
Detroit, yeah, Kenny Galladay is healthy. Kenny Galladay's been showing up. Marvin Jones.
Here's the thing. I think DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
I think he's going to go the fuck off this game.
Yeah, he could have been a breaker maybe.
Yeah, for sure. I could have had like 5 breakers this week, I swear. I think he's going to go off.
This
but
could be a
I
weird
think
game.
Minshew, he's got to come back with a vengeance on a team. He's got to win this game.
They haven't won since week 1, have they?
No, I think they've won since week 1.
No, did they beat Cincy?
No, they
think
lost.
Yeah, see?
They got to win. They got to win here.
But here's the thing. This is a Lions team that beat the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
They won and somebody else, too. Right?
Yeah, they did.
See, this is what's going to screw around with me is that these Lions. Did the Lions win? Packers beat them. They beat the Cardinals. Saints beat them. Come on now. You beat somebody else. Maybe not. Are they 1-4 really?
Are they?
They must have. They had a bye week early, so they're.
I swear they won like at least 2.
Right? No, they're 1-3.
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
That's not- okay,
1-3
well,
versus
fine.
1-4. Oh.
Crap bowl.
This will be a toss-up, really. I mean,
It is a toss-up. This was probably the hardest game I had to pick this week.
I don't disagree here because I don't remember what I picked, and
Yeah,
I bet you on these other ones
an
I
easy
do.
one to not know.
Yeah.
Like one moment I'm thinking Jags all the way, and then
Yeah.
one moment I'm thinking, fuck, Detroit.
Over under 54.5 on this too.
Under, down under.
I take the under as well. And guess what? I'm done talking about these teams. So let's move
Get out
on.
of here.
That's all we can say there. Browns, Steelers, 4-point favorites in Heinz Field, and I even though they're teams that they have beaten have a combined
Here's the
record of
thing,
like
this is a rivalry.
3-13-1.
This is a rivalry game.
I like the Steelers' run defense in this game a lot. And I think that the emergence of Chase Claypool last week was no fluke. I
No.
think he will be defended better this week, but that just opens up Juju and Deontay Johnson to catch some more passes. So
And this is-
I like them a
This
lot.
is where we disagree. I have Cleveland. I like their offense a lot better than
You
I like
have
the Steelers' offense.
Cleveland with the upset.
One of my upsets. I got a couple.
All right.
No. Yeah, it's Cleveland, man. Only thing that scares me right now is Kareem Hunt. He's nursing a little bit of an injury, nothing major.
Mm-hmm.
But here we go. I could have another breaker here in Dearness Johnson with Chubb out.
Right.
He could go off if somehow I feel like Kareem Hunt is just like a couple hits away from being fucked up.
Yeah.
I hope not.
You know, I've heard a lot of praise for Dearness Johnson though, so he could come out and be, you know, they could have a 3-headed monster in Cleveland now.
Well, I feel like even this game, I feel like they're going to share a lot.
I mean, remember last week, in spite of, it was last week, right?
Yes.
Who did they play last week?
They played Dallas. Oh no, not Dallas. They played.
Oh no, it would have been the week before then when they played Dallas. Despite Nick
Yeah.
Chubb being out, they put up 317 yards.
Yes. They are the best backfield in the NFL. In
Absolutely, absolutely. I would not blame you for picking Cleveland here. I'm of that mindset.
Remember what I said
and-
on the show weeks ago?
Yeah,
Don't count this team
and
out.
I'm not. I think they are a playoff team right now. I'm from that
They're on the mend.
That hardened mantra raised by my dad. Defense wins championships.
It does.
And the Steelers. Here's the other thing. Not only is their defense playing well,
Yes.
their offense is a little underrated.
Yes.
And I think they're flying under the radar.
They are.
so hard. They're
One of the four.
They're 4-0.
4 or 5 teams that are undefeated.
Four.
Four teams. It's Seahawks,
Titans.
Steelers, Titans, and Green Bay.
Yeah. They're flying under the radar. They are the quietest undefeated team
And I
right
have
now.
2 of these teams
Losing
this week.
Yeah, we'll get to that here in a
Yes.
second. They're quiet. This is the most low key the Steelers have been in the position they are ever, I think. I like Pittsburgh in this game a lot. However, I don't know if I anticipate a high scoring game though. Here.
I'm gonna fucking smash that over. I'm gonna smash that over.
Actually I do because Pittsburgh Philly was a high scoring game too.
Don't forget about that Cleveland.
Over under 51. Let's take the over.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna smash it, dude.
absolutely. I don't know why I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Philly's balling out. Okay, here we go. Moving on, we have the Bengals and the Colts. This is in Indianapolis. The Colts are 8-point favorites in this game,
Rightfully
and
so.
I see the Colts bouncing back big.
Yeah, Indy's gonna take it, even though Rivers is sitting on the pot over there.
Boy,
You guys really lucked out. Holy shit!
boy, did we get out of that one?
Yeah,
I love Rivers.
Old man Rivers.
Rivers will forever be
That's fine. I get it.
one of my all-time favorite players for everything he did for my franchise. But I thought for sure, and there's still plenty of season left, I thought for sure he would be having his Brett Favre in Minnesota kind of career renaissance.
I was
And
thinking at the beginning of the season, hopefully.
he's kind
hoping
of
for it.
He's kind of being buoyed by a good run game and a great defense.
I think he's getting buoyed by a great defense, really.
Yeah.
The running game is good. It could be better.
Meanwhile, Justin Herbert is a 3-time Pepsi
Yeah.
Rookie of the Week. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Like,
we're not winning as much.
I'm not gonna shit on the old man. You know,
No.
he's fine.
And I mean, I'm picking him to win this game.
Right.
So, yeah.
He's in there doing his role where I think that's where they wanted him, and they weren't expecting probably spectacular numbers out of the guy. Just
No.
get the job done, and I think he's getting the job done. So obviously Indy in this game, I mean, based mostly off their defense, in my opinion, against this team. So,
Right.
I don't think Rivers is going to throw up crazy numbers. I don't think they're going to run. Anybody's going to rush for like crazy yards. I just think it's a defensive game, and they're going to win.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Okay, and over under for that is low. It's 46.5.
Put under, honestly.
I'd take the under as well, especially like after like the Chicago game.
Yeah, bro,
With
like-
Indy, no, I don't expect no. Moving on, we have the Ravens taking on the Eagles in Philly. Ravens are 8.5-point favorites, and I see no reason to go against it. I mean,
Can't go against Baltimore against the Eagles, right?
Hell no.
Not to mention, and I will say this, and I've kind of hinted at it at work. I think the Eagles are gonna try and turn their season around a little bit,
I think this will be a high-scoring game.
but they're not gonna do it against
No,
the Ravens. They're not gonna win.
I will say, and I have to
I
point
think it's
it
gonna
out.
be a closer game than people think.
I have to acknowledge Travis Fulgham, the receiver for the Eagles, is probably one of the best success stories of this year. A guy who was buried on the depth chart
Yeah.
under established guys like Alshon Jeffrey,
Why don't you pick him
Deshaun
up?
Jackson. I'm thinking about it. Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson, and then high draft picks like J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, who have not really been showing up and showing out.
Deshaun Jackson, whenever he gets a hangnail, he has to miss a game.
Yeah, Travis Fulgham was a practice squad guy, shows up, and he's been balling out the last 2 games.
Yep.
He's become an established target for Carson Wentz on an injury-riddled Philadelphia offense. Really happy for the kid. I don't think that they come out and beat Baltimore, but we have noted Lamar Jackson has shown flashes of last year's form, but he's not really been an out front MVP candidate. He's not doing superhuman things. They're winning games.
Do you think they're trying to be more conservative with him to save him as far as like health reasons?
I think that's part of it.
I think that's a little bit to
But
do with it.
they're not doing superhuman things. I think when they got put in the face of a clear of champion, they crumbled. They did not look like the Chiefs of last year.
Because that's what everybody was wanting to see last year, right? Everybody was wanting to see this matchup, Baltimore, Kansas City.
Yeah, it just didn't look good. I think that
And what's
Lamar's
funny?
good enough.
Go for
He's
it.
good enough to take a loss from that like that and learn from it. And he'll definitely, if they match up again in the playoffs potentially, he'll come in fired up and we'll have a better game. But
for sure.
they looked like pretenders in that one.
Yeah, it was weird because like Baltimore's supposed to be like the best defense, right? Like the best in the league
Yeah.
by far. Kansas City's defense looked way better than that.
They had consistent pressure, and I got to tell you,
Or is it Kansas City's offense is just so elite that
But-
the best defense can't even
I got to
adapt
tell you,
to it?
I hate to do it because I hate the Chiefs, but that tandem of Frank Clark and Chris Jones in the pass rush is
Ridiculous.
borderline unstoppable.
Yeah.
They're a consistent problem, more consistent. The only pressure I've seen this year that is more consistently an issue than those two is Aaron Donald by himself.
Yes.
Aaron Donald might be the best player in the in the NFL. Period. In my opinion,
He's a freak.
he's crazy. So is anybody that has to roll out and play against him twice a year because holy shit, this guy throws dudes around 3 at a time. My goodness, earns his paycheck. So we got the Ravens. What is the over under on that? It's 47.
Over.
I like the over. Over, yeah, for sure. Broncos Patriots with a noticeably low over under, but they're in Gillette, and I don't even need to look it up. Patriots are 9.5-point favorites at home. I think it's obvious where we're leaning here, right? I mean,
yeah, Cam Newton's back.
Cam is back.
That's all that needs to be said.
That's all we need to know here is Cam's back, and who cares who's starting for Denver? Drew Lock might be back. Doesn't matter to me. The Patriots are a well-coached team, and this is a Patriots with a stronger...
Is Gilmore back?
I don't care. Their defense is strong regardless.
Yeah, it is.
And we're talking about Drew Lock with no Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
I
We
just...
got Noah Fant.
No Cortland Sutton. Potentially no Melvin Gordon for at least a game if they punish him.
For one game, he may miss.
You got to go with the coaching here.
Yeah.
The coaching and again defense. I like New England over under 45, and I think I slammed the under on that.
Yeah, I'd say the under all day.
We move on to the Jets taking on the Dolphins, and this is the Dolphins in Miami are 9.5-point favorites.
I like it.
I like it too.
It's Miami all day. I like what they're doing on defense. I like what they're doing on offense. Fitzmagic's coming alive. Like I said, Myles Gaskin is going to run all over these Jets. And Flacco, you ain't doing it.
They're not. Yeah, I've never been a Joe Flacco fan either. Here's the thing: the Dolphins, they are playing. They're a house of fire right now. They're on a roll. They're playing very hard. They're not fiddling with anything right now. It's not broke. Fitzpatrick is playing very hard. He's playing very well. So they're not even toying with the idea. They're the opposite of the Chargers, which is interesting. Before the season, it was like, okay, Fitzpatrick will start a few games, then Tua's going to get thrown out there. Meanwhile, on the Chargers, it was Tyrod the whole season, and then Herbert next year. Now, what we're looking at is and medical problems notwithstanding, Herbert is going to be the guy. And, after a start from Tyrod, and in Miami right now, it's looking like Fitz until the wheels fall off. And then maybe we'll see Tua if they tailspin. But right now, Miami's looking really good.
Fitz is hot. They ain't going to worry about Tua right now.
Yeah, Miami's looking really good, despite the rushing game being very underwhelming. I mean, Jordan Howard has 19 yards on 17 carries, which is just garbage. And Matt Breida has been underwhelming in an area where I thought he would have been. Yeah, he would have been stepping up.
I think Gaskin though, he's gonna go off for sure.
All right. Over under 47.
I'm gonna take the over on that actually.
I take the over too. Yeah.
Look how much Miami put up last week.
Yeah. Hang tight. We'll be here in just a sec. For those on video, I can't pause the stream, but I can pause it for the audio. So for the audio, it'll be like a seamless transition thing, but not for the stream. Not for the stream. Poor Brady. Those beers went right through him. Oh man. I'm listening to a lot of Opie and Anthony lately. Like, I wonder if they think I'm doing if people listening think I'm doing like a goofy radio voice. No, rest assured, this is my real voice. If I was doing a goofy radio voice, it would sound something like this. Anyway, I probably just turned away anybody who was watching right there doing that dumb shit. Oh, man. It's been a good show. It's been a good show so far. That was rough. And in a second, Any second. Okay, and we've got the game of the week, I would assume.
Yes.
Packers, Buccaneers. This will be very reminiscent of Packers Saints. This will be a shootout.
Yeah.
The Packers are actually 1-point favorites heading into Raymond James Stadium. You may as well just call this a push. I really like the Packers in this. I think, and I came into this season doubting them immensely off of what I thought was a very easy cupcake schedule for them, but they've beaten some real contenders this year already. I like this Packers team a lot. They've thrashed the teams that aren't in it, like Detroit, and they've come in and beaten teams that are in it, like New Orleans. And I think Aaron Rodgers is playing his best football since like 2012.
Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers is definitely in the conversation for, if anybody's even in there with Russell Wilson, for MVP.
It's between Rodgers and Russ right now.
I would say between those two.
Yep.
I love this matchup. This is definitely probably the game I'm most anticipating.
Yeah.
Is this game right now as
Same
far
here.
as the season goes. You got Tom Brady, the GOAT, and you got Aaron Rodgers, who is playing out of his mind. Like when you think of Aaron Rodgers, yeah, he's back in it.
Oh, yeah.
That offense, Aaron Jones, he's going off. It's hard, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Tampa. Like I said, I think Tampa is going to go off. I think Tom Brady is finally going to have that breakout game.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say he's done terrible this season, but he's had some hiccups.
I'm
for
sorry,
sure.
that breakout game, despite the pick six, I would say was probably against the Chargers.
Yes,
with
I
that
would-
5 touchdowns to 5 different receivers.
Right, that pick six kind of hindered it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be against this Green Bay defense, which is not very good.
I think the
And
Green
they're
Bay
not.
defense. No, they're
give-
good.
They give a
let me
lot
tell you
up on the
something.
run. They give a lot up on the pass.
I'm going to tell you right now, Jair Alexander,
Mm-hmm.
their corner, has been on another fucking level.
Now let me tell you, they've surprised me.
Roquan Smith's been great on that defense.
Their defense has very much surprised me.
I think their defense is one of the more underrated squads out there right now.
But I think Tampa has a better defense, in my opinion, against this team.
Maybe. I mean, I will say Ndamukong Suh's been playing extremely well
Yes.
this year. He's been good at stopping the run, and Aaron Jones is a problem for a lot of teams. The secondary depends. I don't know, man. It depends. I will say Devontae Adams being in could help them out a lot.
Yes, and that's kind of scary to think about.
They clearly don't have. If he's out, they won't have as many weapons as Tampa.
No, I
But-
mean, well, they have Tanyan, who kind of filled in.
Tanyan's
that
been
spot.
coming up, and he's been playing very well. They have MVS, I think.
Yeah, they have MVS. He's done a little here, a little there, but he's still a weapon.
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones,
Who can do it all.
They got the resources.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's gonna be a fucking shootout. It's gonna be a shootout. It's gonna be a good game, and I think it's gonna be both these QBs looking at each other like, hey, you think you're better than me? I don't think so.
So let's
Watch
see.
this.
Pax Bucks injury report, and it's going to autoplay.
Oh, Godwin is also cleared. He's healthy.
Okay.
So Tom Brady has only seen this guy for like one game,
Okay, Packers injury report.
maybe two.
Questionable Montrevious Adams, defensive tackle. Kevin King, quad. That'll be a game time decision. Rashawn Gary, ankle, and Zadarius Smith, ankle. Out. The only out is Tyler Irvin with the wrist, and then, of course, Alan Lazard, who's on IR. Bucks injury report. Carlton Davis, corner. That's one of their starting corners with an abdomen. Khalil Davis, defensive tackle, and Leonard Fournette with an ankle injury. They're all questionable.
Rojo's all about it anyway.
Yeah, Rojo is. Let me make sure here. And they're gonna. Okay, so this is a newer one. Come on, and come on. Let's see. Full participation in practice: Devontae Adams, Jair Alexander, Chris Barnes, Kenny Clark, Zadarius Smith, Shannon Sullivan. Expect them all to play limited. Rashawn Gary, maybe if he plays limited snaps. No participation. Montrevious Adams, Tyler Irvin, Kevin King, Mercedes Lewis. Although we hear Kevin King will be a game time decision. Now, Buccaneers, Justin Watson, full participation there. Limited Levante David, big part of that defense. Carlton Davis, Mike Evans, Leonard Fournette, Chris Godwin, Rob Gronkowski, LaShawn McCoy, Scotty Miller, Jason Pierre-Paul. I expect all of those guys to play. They may not be all 100%, but I expect them all to play. Don't get me wrong.
No, I saw Gronk kind of nursing his little thing, but
This will be. Well, Gronk's not been 20.
he's a blocker.
He's not
there
been
to block.
even 2017 Gronk.
And, well, that's what they said. They came out and said that he is not here to be the big role tight end.
I will say,
With OJ Howard out though, he might have to be.
this will be a close game. This will be won by maybe a field goal or a go-ahead touchdown.
It's going to be kind of like what you saw with that Bears game,
Yeah.
which
Which one? Bears Bucks.
yeah,
Although I think this one will be higher scoring.
it's going to be higher scoring.
Over
but it's
under
going to come down to something like that.
over under 55.
Over, baby.
Absolutely. After watching Packers Saints, I got to take the over here.
And this is why I have to start Tom Brady this week. After what he did to me last week, which was bullshit. But I had to start him this week against Green Bay because it's like...
So we head into now Rams-Niners, and this is the Rams favored only by 3 in Levi's Stadium, and I just don't understand that.
Because do the Niners even know what they're doing with the quarterback situation? I heard, maybe they're trying to deflect, that they sat Jimmy because they didn't want to aggravate his injury still. Like he was,
Now-
they put him in too early,
That's what I thought.
and maybe that's the case. I don't know. But
think it
to
was
me,
less-
I feel like they're trying to take the heat off if he was being a hot trash.
Jimmy playing. I mean, Jimmy played like shit, but I think it was less that he inherently plays like shit, and
Or
more that they rushed him back. Miami did play very
I was gonna say
aggressive.
Miami literally played such good defense. I couldn't believe it.
That's a defensive-minded coach who schemed very well
I think
for that
that's what
team.
it might have been.
But I think that they just, and that's the thing, high ankle sprain. You're not going to be very mobile. You're going to be very limited.
Gonna baby it a little bit.
You have to be very ginger on that.
Yeah.
I think they rushed Jimmy G back a little bit.
Yeah,
But the Rams are a better defense than the Dolphins.
exactly.
Two words: Aaron Donald.
Exactly.
If you're having a hard time,
if you had a hard, go for it.
exactly. If you had a hard time against Miami, Aaron Donald is a human wrecking ball. You're not going to have any hope there.
If Jimmy's still having a little problem there with his ankle,
Yeah.
you best just rest him and put C.J. Beathard in there.
And Goff, even though he's not been, 2018 Goff,
He's been doing all right.
he's been better this year than he was last
He's
year.
been doing decent.
You don't have your top 2 pass rushers to make his life hell.
You got Cooper Kupp out there. You got
Cam Akers is establishing himself
Yes.
in the running game. Benny
Henderson.
Cunningham or Daryl Henderson.
Henderson is a stud.
Malcolm Brown is still out there. They're kind of allocating carries as need be. Cooper Kupp's been playing great. Robert Woods is still out there, dependable, catching 8 to 10 balls a game. No, I expect the Rams to win, and I expect them to win by a lot. And this
is a game where I think Cooper Kupp is going to go off.
This is not going to be the over under 52. I will take the under
I'll
on
take
that.
the under.
I think
that's my first under of the day.
I don't think the Niners put a lot of. I don't think the Niners put a lot of points up on the Rams here.
No.
I think the Rams smash them pretty good.
I think the Niners' biggest problem this week is going to be defense.
I think that if both teams were healthy, this would be
it'd be
way more fun of a
Yes, it
matchup.
would.
But it's not. So they aren't. So it's not.
No.
Chiefs Bills. Bills are.
I love it.
Sorry. Chiefs are 4-point favorites going into Buffalo, and yeah, I absolutely refuse to not pick the Chiefs.
Especially the way that the Bills played last week against the Titans.
I know that
I didn't like that at all.
I know that the Raiders came out and they beat them, and the Raiders are looking scary. They're looking like a better team than I give them credit for, but the Chiefs. I mean, come on, man. They have if Tannehill
and then adding
puts up-
Le'Veon.
Yeah, and adding Le'Veon, if Tannehill put 42 points up on the Bills, Josh Norman got trucked out of his shoes against Derrick Henry. Now I know that the Chiefs don't have a Derrick Henry type back on their team.
No, but now
But
they've
they've
got
got-
like 3 very good running backs.
They've got 3 good running backs. They've got speed on speed on speed in that passing game.
Also, I think Mecole Hardman is going to go the fuck off this week.
Mecole Hardman's great, yeah.
I think they're going to utilize him this week at big time.
What people forget about Mecole Hardman, he was drafted in the second round last year to be Tyreek Hill too.
And I think it's going to
He was
happen.
drafted that way because Tyreek Hill had the allegations of the physical abuse. He got a little wifey McBeady on everybody.
Yep.
And people thought that he wasn't going to be playing. So they go, okay, we got to take the fastest fucking guy we have available, which at the time is Mecole Hardman right there in round 2.
Mm-hmm.
And, Tyreek Hill can play too? Great. Now you have 2 blazing fast receivers. You've got a pair of sure hands in Sammy Watkins, who's at least a veteran presence. Your other guy, I keep forgetting his name.
Who?
What's that other guy's
Receiver?
He's like the fourth wheel on that team.
I'm talking about Chiefs?
Yeah.
Not Sammy, but
Chiefs
Debo?
receivers.
Oh, no, that's San Fran.
DeMarcus Robinson,
Oh, yeah.
who gets a lot of end zone targets. They have so much depth. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is he's a little mouse boy that can just kind of sneak in the cracks and crevices and
They've been having trouble with him.
guys.
Week 1, they had the most trouble with him as far as getting it done down the middle, but
Yeah.
he's
He's going to keep getting better.
Yeah.
He's
a rookie,
he's a
man.
guy. They have a lot of plans in store for him. Lev Bell probably only going to be there this year, but obviously his presence is a big
it's
one.
probably going to be minimal this week, though, but
Yeah.
so don't count on that's why we're picking. I picked this before Lev signed anywhere.
I don't bet. Listen, while the Chiefs lost last week, I will not bet against that offense. And we
No.
already talked about how great that pass rush is.
No. Well, the Raiders just showed up to fucking play.
I love the Bills a lot. I think that if gun
So
to my
do I.
head, if the Chargers franchise went down in a blazing heap and I had to pick another team, I would probably pick Buffalo.
Not the Seahawks?
I like the Seahawks. I admire the Seahawks, but I like teams that haven't won it all.
Yeah,
And
I think you probably like teams that like not everybody else likes
I
either.
like teams that haven't done it. I would
Yeah.
go Bills, Browns, Jaguars, teams that haven't done it, that don't have. I mean,
gotcha.
You know what I mean? I like the Bills.
You
man.
gotta keep it local though, dude.
I never do, dude. I never do.
I know.
As a
I
kid,
can tell. That's why you're Chargers.
as a kid, I picked the Chargers because I like their colors and
That's
I like
all
their
right.
logo, man.
I'm just messing. There's nothing wrong with that. I actually have a
And
few friends who
well,
are Chargers fans.
That was my pick back then. That was my rationale for picking teams back then.
Mm-hmm.
Now my rationale is like, I like underdogs. I like teams that
I love
that
underdogs too, like
I
Cleveland.
want them to win. You know, the whole mystique of the Bills.
You ain't gonna be a Browns fan though.
I like the Browns too.
Okay.
But the whole mystique of the Browns have never gone to the Super Bowl.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
The Bills have gone to 4 straight and lost every time.
Yeah, that's even
to
sicker.
Two bigger and better dynasties. So it's like,
Yeah.
shit, dude. You know, they lost to, what was it? The Cowboys, the Redskins, the
Yeah, that's a cool debate there.
Niners, and I think they lost the
Like, what would be
the
cool?
Giants.
What would be cooler, right? Like the Bills actually winning the Super Bowl, going and winning one, or the Browns going there,
The Browns
and then
just
winning
getting
one?
there?
Like, what would be cooler, right? Like that's kind of funny.
Can you imagine if the Browns go 1-0 in Super Bowl appearances, man?
Like what?
I can't imagine the Browns getting there and not
No,
just
I
being like, golly gosh, gee.
Well, this is cool.
Oh, I'm happy to be here, you know, and then just getting mud hole stomped.
Okay,
like,
you guys can have it, but
we're just
we're just happy to be here.
we just finally got here, and
Yeah.
I'm so
That old saying, I'm just
I don't know
happy to
what-
be here.
I don't know what to do with my hands. Like I said, the sickest part about the Browns,
Yeah.
to me, is that the Ravens, like
yeah.
4 years after after the Browns moved to Baltimore, the Ravens win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was telling this to Uriah a couple of weeks ago about
Yeah.
this. He's like, "Are you fucking serious?" I was like, "Yeah."
Well, yeah, and I told
Because you,
Tyler
I told,
Hogman, and he didn't know either.
yeah, I was like, "What?"
I said, you know, the Ravens these days were the Browns of the 80s and shit, right? And he goes, what?
Yeah,
No way. I'm like, yeah, these
'Cause,
Browns.
Like, when's the last time the Ravens have been like super bad, right?
Yeah. Like, these Browns have only existed since 99.
Yeah, like
The
after we were born.
The 99 expansion Browns that selected Tim Couch as their first player ever. And that should have been the writing on the wall right there.
You're doomed for fucking failure there.
Tim Couch. I think the only
He
time
belongs on the couch. That's probably where he's at right
I think
now.
the worst the Ravens have been in 20 years wasn't even. I think they were still making playoffs, but it would have been when Kyle Bowler was their quarterback. That would have been like 03, 06.
Yeah.
03 to 06. And I remember
Saying the last time they haven't made the playoffs?
Not even 06. Oh, I'm not saying the last time they haven't, but if I look at Baltimore, like, okay, list of Baltimore Ravens seasons. Come on. Maybe right.
You got the wiki up?
Yeah, there we go. Okay. 96. So from 96 to 99, they don't make the playoffs. 2000, they win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right? 01, they go to the playoffs, but they lose in the divisional round. 02, miss. 03, they go to the playoffs with Kyle Bowler as quarterback. I think 02 was a year, I think Ray Lewis was hurt, if I recall right. 04, 9, and 7 missed the playoffs, although Ed Reed was DPOY.
Yeah.
05, 6, and 10 missed the playoffs. So right there. And then
right in that
13 and
little
3 in 06. 07, Steve McNair got hurt, and they went 5 and 11 because they finally they were like, fuck it, let's get Steve McNair because Kyle Bowler sucks.
Fucking tank.
Because I think Steve McNair was the quarterback in 06 too.
Yes, he was.
Then in 08 with Flacco, 11 and 5, 9 and 7, playoffs, 12 and 4, playoffs, 12 and 4,
Curse of Flacco.
AFC title, 10 and 6, Super Bowl, then 8 and 8. That was when all their team left because Flacco got paid.
Yep.
Then 10 and 6 playoffs. Then 5 and 11, 8 and 8, 9 and 7, not so great. These are the Flacco's last years. And then dawn of Lamar right here, 2018, boom. 2019, boom. So, yeah, the Ravens don't have a ton of bad years.
Yeah, Flacco got paid and everybody left.
Flacco got paid and everybody left.
People need to learn how to do it like the Seahawks way, where you pay Russell Wilson what he fucking deserves, and then you can also get these other guys in there and then make it work.
Kansas City's making it work right now with
that's
the
exactly
way
what they're
they
doing.
structured Pat Mahomes'
That's
deal.
exactly what they're doing.
So, yeah. That was that game. What else do we have? Oh, over under for the Chiefs Bills, by the way. And I'm going to just say smash the over. 57.5. Smash it. Smash it. Smash it. Smash the over. Josh Allen's not going to have 2 terrible games in a row. Smash it. Smash it.
No.
It.
It was a fluke game. Like I've been saying, I believe it is a fluke game.
So that is our over unders. And I think that's the show.
Yeah. I think it is a show.
I think that's the show. I think we did a good show.
I think we did it.
We did a show.
We did it without Tom Cruise Jr.
No Tom
over
Cruise
here in the
Jr.
corner.
with his fucking iPhone radio waves.
iPhone radio waves, his club soda, his
Tab.
little saltine crackers.
Club soda. Oh yeah, I forgot
Tab
I made
soda.
that joke at the very beginning. Yeah. So I think we gotta leave you with this.
The Fitness Gram Pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test that progressively gets more difficult as it continues.